Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Today I'm going to present you the topic that is syntax of writing different loops used in computer programming C++. The table of our content that we are going to discuss is introduction, that is definition of syntax, syntax of writing loops, while loop, for loop, next we have do while loop, nested loop, syntax of writing all these loops, switch statement, pointers, arrays, and all this. So first we will start from syntax, that what is syntax, why we use syntax, why we write syntax, and what is the basic need of writing syntax. The syntax refers to the rules that defines the structure of a language. Syntax in computer programming means the rules that control the structure of the symbols, punctuations, and the words of programming language. And without syntax, the meaning of semantics of a language is nearly impossible to understand. For example, a series of English words such as subject, a need, and does, syntax, these is irregular, you can say the shuffle form of verbs that is not in a proper syntax, so we cannot recognize what is meaning or what the line, what the sentence is saying, that we cannot understand this sentence. So verb has a little meaning without syntax. So applying basic syntax of English language, we will talk about the programming language after this English language. Now I'm just talking about the basic syntax of English language, that I have taken an example from a sentence. Does a sentence need a subject and verb? All these words which were in shuffle form, that was not in the proper syntax, we cannot understand the meaning of the line of a sentence, that what the sentence mean. Now applying the basic rules of syntax of English language, we can understand what is the sentence mean. Does a sentence need a subject and verb? Now it's a proper sentence and we can recognize, we can understand the meaning of this sentence properly. So same is the case with the programming languages, until or unless you will not apply the basic syntax on the programming language, then you will be unable to understand the basic statements used in the programming language. So next we have basic syntax represents the fundamental rules of programming language. As I have told earlier, without these rules it is impossible to write functioning code. Programming language functions on some principles. These principles are syntax of writing for loop. Now step by step we will discuss in the next coming slide that what is the syntax of writing for loop, what is the syntax of writing do while loop, for loop, while loop, switch statement, arrays, and all this. So here it is the syntax of for loop. You can see that for initialization, in which you initialize, condition, and update. Update you can also say increment. Next you have brackets, curly brackets, and body of the loop. The syntax of for loop is okay. Next here initialization, initialize variables and it is executed only once. Condition, the next one is condition. Condition, if true, the body of the false loop is executed. If false, the body of the for loop is terminated. The for loop will initialize, then checks the condition. If your condition becomes true, then the for loop will be executed. If the conditions become false, then the for loop will be terminated. Updates or increment the value of initialized variable again and checks the condition. Here you will increment, the loop will increment or update the value and again will check this condition. If the conditions become true, the for loop will be executed, the body of the for loop will be executed. If the conditions become false, then the for loop will become terminated. Next we have the syntax of while loop. The syntax of while loop is while, condition, in parenthesis, that is next we have curly brackets and the body of the loop. Okay, here a while loop evaluates the condition. It checks the condition. If the condition evaluates to true, the code inside the while loop is executed, and if the condition is evaluated to false, the condition is evaluated again and again. In while loop, it will check the conditions again and again. The process is continue until the condition is false. When the condition evaluates to false, the loop will automatically terminates. Next we have the syntax of do while loop. For writing do while loop, we write do, body of the loop, and at the last we'll write while loop and the condition. So here the body of the loop is executed first, and then the condition is evaluated. If the condition evaluates to true, the body of the loop inside the statement is executed again, and the condition is evaluated once again. If the condition evaluates to true, if this condition inside the while loop evaluates to true, the body of the loop inside the statement is executed again. This body of the loop inside the do inside the statement will evaluate it again. Next we have the process will continue until the condition evaluates to false, then the loop stops. This condition, the process will continue until this condition still remain true, and when this condition become false, the body of the loop will be terminated. Okay, next we have the syntax of nested loop. How to write the syntax, how to use nested loop in your program. We have syntax. The basic rule of writing the nested loop, nested for loop is for, same as we have learned in the second previous slide, that is for loop syntax: initialization, condition, and increment. Now here again inside the curly bracket again we will use the for loop. So we can say that the nested for loop is the for loop inside the loop, that is simply loop inside the loop is called nested loop. Okay, so you will declare the for loop, next you will declare again a new for loop inside the bracket, then the statement, curly bracket, and second statement. Next we have the syntax of nested while loop. Again you will simply write the syntax of writing while loop, while condition, again loop inside the loop, while loop and the second while loop, condition, statement, and the second condition. Once you will remember the syntax of while loop or for loop, you will become familiar how to write the syntax of nested, because it's quite simply that you will write a loop inside the loop and the number of statement will be repeated after the loop. Do, statement, again loop inside the loop, do, statement, while, condition, while, condition. Next we have the syntax of switch statement, that is switch, expression, case constant 1, code to be executed if the expression is equal to case constant 1. So here just look at this. If the expression is equal to constant 1, then the code will be executed. After that you can use this break statement. What is the basic purpose of using this break statement? I'll tell you in the next slide. Now you can see the case constant 2, code to be executed if the expression is equal to case constant 2. Break, default code to be executed if the expression doesn't match any constant. Now here look at this. If the expression doesn't match any case constant, that is case constant 1, case constant 2, case constant 3. For example, if you are simply using these two cases, so if your condition is if your expression doesn't match to any of these two constants cases, then the case constant 1 and case constant 2. If the expression doesn't match to any of these case constant, case 1 and case 2, then the switch will be automatically terminate and default. Switch and case are reserved words. Reserved words mean that cannot be changed, okay? That cannot be varied. Switch and case. You will also use this word switch, you will also use the word case in this syntax. You cannot change, change, like we can change a variable, we can use a, b, x, y, z, different variables in programming. But in this, the switch and the case are the reserved words that cannot be changed. How does the switch statement works? Now I'll explain the previous slide. How does the switch case work? The expression is evaluated once and compared with the values of each case label. First, you will run your program. The expression in switch case statement will evaluated once and compared with the values of each case label. For example, in this slide, we have used case 1 and case 2. If you enter case 1, case 2, then the switch will be executed. If you enter 3, for example, we don't have any case 3. If you will enter 3, then it will automatically goes to default. If there is a match, the corresponding code after the matching label is executed. For example, if the value of the variable is equal to the constant 2, the code after case constant 2 is executed until the break statement is encountered. If there is no match, the code after default is executed. If the expression matches to case constant 1, the code after case 1 will be executed. If the expression matches to case constant 2, the expression after the case constant will be executed. And if there is no match, then the code after default is executed. So I'll tell you why we use that break statement. Basically, the break statement is used to terminate, or to simply, you can say, terminate the case 1. If you don't use that break statement in switch, then all of your cases will be executed simultaneously. Simultaneously means all of the cases will be executed at once, okay? So the break statement is used basically to differentiate for the sectioning of that cases. You can use break statement, then only the expression you want to execute, that is case 1, will be executed, not the case 2. If you don't use the break statement between the case 1 and the case 2, then the both cases will be executed at a time. The syntax of pointers. How to write pointers? What is the basic syntax of writing pointers in C++? Data type, star pointer, and name. This pointer p can be hold the address of an integer variable. Here p is a pointer and variable is just a simple integer variable. This is how we assign the address of another variable to the pointer. Int star pointer variable p is equal to and variable, at the end use semicolon. How to declare a variable? You can see that int pointer variable. The syntax of pointer, we are declaring a variable using pointers, okay? Int pointer variable, p is equal to and variable. Data type array. Syntax of arrays. How to write the syntax of array? Data type you can use here character, string, int. Array name, this is not reserved word. Array name can be changed. You can say simply array, you can use simply x, you can use a. Array size 1, 2, 3, 4 up to extent. Int x and 6. Here you can see that the int is data type, x is the array name, and 6 is the size of the array. Here int type of the element to be stored, x name of the array, and 6 is the size of. So guys, it was all about today's lecture. Hope now you are familiar that how to write the proper syntax of different loops, that is while loop, do while loop, for loop, switch statement, pointers, arrays, and all this. So syntax is the basic need of writing a program. Without following the basic principles of writing a syntax, you cannot write a program properly in C++ or any programming language. So I want you guys to write a summary in the comments below that what you have learned from this lecture. Till then, I'll meet you in the next lecture. Take care. Allah Hafiz.